On today's Live Daily News, a local chicken restaurant is coming back to life, but it may not be what you expect. And a Mexican restaurant cries foul after it shuts down. And a crash sends a Cadillac into a house near Angelo State University. All that plus more. I'm Yantis Green, and this is Live. San Angelo is growing and the economy is bustling. If your company is expanding here and has to house employees while you move to the City of Opportunity, know this. Suburban Studios on the Concho River at 441 Rio Concho Drive just completed a multi-million-dollar renovation, making sure San Angelo's Suburban Studios Hotel is here to make your stay simple and enjoyable. The extended stay hotel meets your needs with hassle-free registration and comfortable, clean, and affordable spaces. Plus, the longer you stay, the more you'll save. Located with the Clarion Hotel, San Angelo's Suburban Studios makes it easy to find a place to stay a little longer. Find San Angelo's Suburban Studios and make a reservation today at choicehotels.com or over on your favorite hotel booking app. In news, San Angelo could be getting another Starbucks drive-through coffee house soon, according to a pending $350,000 building permit with the City of San Angelo Permits and Building Inspections Department. Starbucks has applied for a permit to transform the former Bush's Chicken restaurant at 1225 Knickerbocker Road into a new coffee shop. Read more on that story at sanangelolive.com. And convicted cattle rustler Dusty Thompson is back in the news. The former owners of Mendez Cafe on South Chadbourn Street say they had been forced to sever ties with their cherished establishment. The building, which was on the brink of demolition, was taken over by Thompson after that, who stepped in to purchase the equipment and fund the remodeling out of his own pocket. This act initially appeared as a saving grace for the building and possibly the business. However, the situation, according to reports, took a dark turn. The former owners allege that Thompson, who has a felony conviction for cattle rustling, betrayed their trust. They claim that he not only stole from them, but also attempted to capitalize on their hard-earned reputation and name. Thompson is accused of keeping the Mendez Cafe name on the building and misleading customers into believing that the original cafe is merely closed for remodeling. Over text, Thompson denied the allegations today. And two Cadillac SUVs crashed at the intersection of South Johnson and Avenue J this afternoon, sending one vehicle into a house on the corner and trapping that driver inside. Police and firefighters were dispatched to a major crash with entrapment and injuries at the intersection around 1 o'clock this afternoon. SAPD Traffic Division Investigating Officer Welch at the scene said that a dark Cadillac SUV was eastbound on Avenue J and a gray Cadillac SUV was southbound on Johnson. The driver of the SUV on Avenue J failed to yield the right-of-way, entered the intersection in the path of the other vehicle, and caused the crash. Officer Welch says the driver of the SUV that hit the house was transported to the hospital with what appeared to be non-life-threatening injuries. The driver of the SUV that caused the crash was issued 2 citations there, one for failure to yield the right-of-way and the other for no driver's license. And the San Angelo Support for Veterans organization greeted 9 veterans Tuesday evening at Mathis Field Airport for this year's annual hunting event. These veterans, selected by Lone Star Warriors Outdoors, based in Tyler, will participate in 4 days of guided hunts in the San Angelo area. Founded by Army combat veteran Chris Gill, the organization aims to re-engage these warriors in activities they love while providing an opportunity to connect with fellow combat veterans. The program primarily focused on wounded warriors from the Iraq and Afghanistan conflicts. San Angelo Support for Veterans facilitates these hunting excursions on local ranches and raises funds to cover the cost of the hunts in the area. The veterans will be hunting through Friday. Watch video from that event on sanangelolive.com. Turning to weather, expect this seasonably warm weather to continue for the remainder of this week. It'll be Wednesday tomorrow and again Saturday as a cold front blows through. Wednesday's high will reach around 70 degrees under sunny skies and winds gusting to nearly 40 miles per hour. And then again, those winds will gust on Saturday after the passage of the cold front. Thursday night will only drop to about 50 degrees with highs Friday near 80. Then that cold front will move through Saturday, cooling things off somewhat going into the weekend. Look for a freeze Saturday night. There's no rain in the forecast for the next 7 days. And stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
If you're looking for a spacious SUV, this is probably a top pick. The rear spoiler and the roof rack just add to give it a sportier and more polished look. Oh, did I mention we discounted it $6,000 off MSRP?
Get a new 24 Nissan Murano Platinum and get $6,000 off MSRP. Jim Bass Nissan, Houston Hart at Arden Road or 24/7 at bassbunch.com.
Don't you just love it?
The Angelo State Rams will host 3 home games in 5 days starting on Thursday. After the Rams opened up Lone Star Conference play with 2 victories on the road, ASU looks to remain perfect in conference this weekend. At his weekly press conference on Monday, Rams head coach Vinay Patel gave his thoughts on his team's performance last weekend against Texas A&M Kingsville and A&M International. He said the victory over Southern Arkansas a few weeks ago was a major factor in the Rams' resilience on the road. Angelo State beat Kingsville in overtime last Thursday, 85-81, and International last Saturday, 69-63. Let's take a look.
Well, I think we've probably had 5 or 6 different players this year score double digits for our team, and I think that's the unique thing about the team that we've put together this year is, you can take one of them away, you can take 2 of them away, but then we got somebody else that can step up, and it's what we were really looking for when we pieced this team together. And the important thing for us right now is just figuring out how to play together a little bit better. We're a little bit careless with the basketball right now. I don't like how much we've been turning over the basketball. We're doing a nice job finding each other assist-wise. I think we can still improve on that. But just having guys that, hey, when the offense is not going well, when teams are throwing different defenses at us, and just having some people that can just flat go get you a basket, it's a relief at time, and that's a testament to the talent of the players that we have. But, as this thing continues to come together and our team forms together offensively, I just see the sky being the limit for the offense that we have this year because in my mind, it could be anybody on our team that steps up on any given night offensively. And, it's just going to be continuing to play together. So I hope we can continue to build on what we've seen so far up to this point. But, I still think we got a long ways to go as a basketball team to get better.
The Rams open up their homestand against the University of Arkansas Fort Smith on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. ASU then will play Oklahoma Christian on Saturday at 3. Coach Patel and company return to action for ASU's final home game against rival UT Permian Basin on Tuesday, December 12th at 2 p.m. All 3 games will be at the Stevens Arena at the Janelle Center in San Angelo. And for more sports around the Concho Valley and beyond, be sure to check in every day at sanangelolive.com/sports.
For over 20 years, you have helped Carpet Tech make a real difference at Christmas with your donations of new and wrapped toys for local children in need. 'Tis the season once more. Buy 1 room of carpet cleaning, get 1 free. Give your toy donation to our technician when he comes to clean and you get a free room of carpet cleaning. All donations support Children's Advocacy Center. Give a gift and get a gift of free carpet cleaning from Carpet Tech. Will you help us make a local child's Christmas a little brighter this year?
Y'all do edit this stuff, don't you?
No.
You don't take out our uhs and
No. It's all real.
I need that. I need my uhs.
All right, we're going on in 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello, welcome back. I'm Joe Hyde, publisher of San Angelo Live, and I have a very, very, very special guest today. I have one of the titans of downtown, Lee Pfluger, on. Lee, thank you for coming on our show.
It's always a pleasure to be with you, Joe, and to inform our community about some of the things going on that are important to ourselves and to our children, and that's where the future of our community is.
All right. Well, Lee is for 30 years,
30 years.
30 years you have been, I guess, orchestrating, executing the annual Concho Christmas celebration, which includes this tour of lights that we have that's kind of become a tourist attraction for San Angelo. I mean, people come here to go drive through the tour lights.
We get probably 25% of the people are from outside.
25%.
Outside San Angelo. And of course it varies every year. And prior to COVID, we had a lot of people from out of state that were coming in. But after COVID, it's been mostly counties and cities within the state of Texas that are pretty well
within a day's drive.
With the people that, well, a day's drive, but
that's
I mean,
we're talking
we're talking a lot of overnight stuff. Mm-hmm. Because by the time they get in here and have dinner, go to the tour, it's late enough where we can get heads in beds.
Now, the Concho Christmas is more than just the lights. On December 2nd, which was last Saturday, you lit the San Angelo Christmas tree, and you had a parade, and you had the community band performing. Tell me, how did this start 30 years ago? Was it just you out there holding up a light? What was
well,
that?
I tell you what, it wasn't much more than that. Sonny Clear and I. And,
all right, now, so you don't know Sonny Clear. He was an insurance guy.
He was the voice of San Angelo, the Bobcats.
That's right.
For like 40 years.
And we have a video on there. We'll link to it in the show notes.
He was absolutely an icon in our community, and will never be replaced with somebody at our Ram football games and the high school football games like Sonny Clear. But
the voice of the Bobcats.
He was it. So anyway, Sonny was instrumental in doing a lot of good quality of life projects in San Angelo his entire life, and probably most notably with our Wounded Warrior program, where and his Back the Badge program.
Right. The Wounded Warrior thing, it still continues to this day. The San Angelo support for veterans. Right. They arrived at the airport last night.
And so like I say, that legacy continues to benefit our community and our veterans.
So let me ask you this. Did Sonny call you in his office at 9 o'clock and say, Lee, Sonny Clear here. I need you to decorate your house for Christmas.
I think Sonny and I were probably down at the ranch.
Okay.
Enjoying that camaraderie. We were very, very close friends, and we kind of looked at each other on a lot of projects and said, can we do this? And one of us say, can we do this? And the other one say, yeah, we can do it. And things happen based on that. But Sonny and Howard Taylor and Marilyn Flagey was... And
Howard Taylor was the head of the museum.
He was head of the museum, right. and as you know, a complete visionary during he was. During the entire time that he was here, which is 30-something years,
right.
He was a visionary for our community. So the three of us, Marilyn Flagey was helping me in the office.
Now, who is Marilyn Flagey? She was
Marilyn was... worked with me on nonprofit projects probably 40 years originally through the symphony.
I want to segue a little bit. I mean, let's the Concho Christmas, the very beginning. One of the things that really impressed me when I first met you was your description of Celebration Bridge. You were part of that project. You called it the Rudat.
The Rudat, correct.
And the Celebration Bridge connects the museum and the river stage with Neff's Park. And
at the time.
It's a pedestrian.
But it's located, the key to it, and why we located it there was because that is the exact same place that the footbridge for the soldiers that were at Fort Concho would go across the Concho River in order to go to...
Back in 1880.
And back in the 1880s. That's exactly where they came across the river to go to...
and there's no Oak Street Bridge.
San Angelo. There was no Oak Street Bridge, which they're now under construction, reconstruction again, which we're happy about. And yes, I was chairman of the Rudat, and Howard and Henry Schmidt were the co-chairmen.
And Henry Schmidt's an architect.
A fantastic historic architect in San Angelo. So the three of us joined together to they were doing all the work and called me in, I'm not sure, just to answer the mail like this. But anyway, we got the Rudat done, and
And the Roudette was a study that kind of was the genesis of the downtown San Angelo we have today.
Exactly. It's a plan for planning.
And what did Roudette stand for?
That's Regional Urban Design Assistance Team, and we had about 7 qualified individuals in various aspects of revitalization. We had a planner, we had a finance person, we had a traffic person, we had a logistic person, we had a finance person that came from outside the state of Texas. There wasn't anybody from inside the state of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the caveats of it was that anybody that worked on a Roudette could not work for that particular municipality after the Roudette was over.
So they couldn't use it to get consulting gigs.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And so the total community was blessed. We qualified as the very best, most successful Roudette ever.
All right. What did that area downtown look like at the time? Did we have a river stage?
Did we have? Well, it was easy to see downtown because there was nothing there.
Okay.
You could.
I'm just
they
talking
always
about that
said
part
you could shoot a cannon, but the whole downtown was vacant.
Right.
And half the buildings.
And this is in the early 90s, right?
Early 90s, 92.
Yeah. Right.
92, 94 era. The mall had taken all the retail out of downtown, and subdivisions had taken most of the people out of downtown, and so you could shoot a cannon downtown and not hit anybody after 5 o'clock.
And probably no one would call the cops for shots fired call or anything either.
Well, there wasn't any shots. There weren't any people downtown.
Right.
So as I would describe it at that time, 50% of the buildings in downtown San Angelo were completely vacant, and 25% had were junk shops or not antique shops. I'm talking junk. And then
what
there
about
were
payday
loan
places?
I don't think anybody was even borrowing money downtown at that time. But anyway, the community at that time felt like that we were having a hard time from an economic development point of view, and I was involved with the chamber at that time.
Right.
That we had an issue attracting people to downtown or to San Angelo. And so in terms of all the conversations we had about why would we want to restore downtown, the main thing was the economic driver that was part of that scenario. And everybody said, well, the first thing that a company that's coming in to look at the quality of life in your city is going to come is downtown, because they want to see if you take care of your own heart. And so,
meaning the downtown was the heart of the community.
Heart of the community,
and it's empty and vacant, and all the windows are boarded over.
That's exactly right. That just tells you what your community's like. So.
And one of the things that Liz Grindstaff and I went to school together. We were in the same College of Architecture, and one thing that we talked about was how large San Angelo's downtown, as far as land mass, is. When you compare it to to comparable cities, we have a very large downtown area, which is, I think, the Tiers zone kind of shows that. I mean, it goes from 29th Street up in Walmart all the way down to Desiree's, basically. It's gigantic.
Well, the river doesn't quite get to Desiree's. So, it is. It's a large area, and part of that is it was caused by the Santa Rita No. 1 out at Big Lake in 1924 that started the boom that allowed us to really expand our downtown in a structural way. I think you architects call it something else, but with your built environment that was probably not indicative of normal growth patterns for cities of our size.
They usually
at that
had
time.
smaller downtowns. They didn't have as much economic activity in the early part of the 20th century. Therefore,
But
like
we were able to get our tall buildings and
the Burnett building, right? That was your tall building from the Santa Rita number 1.
I believe so.
Because they needed office space. These oil men needed office space. That was their office space thing.
Right across from the courthouse.
Right.
And of course, we tore our 1880 courthouse down and built another courthouse in 1929.
Right.
And so we built a lot of things in 1929 using architecturally using a very unique brick. That yellow brick that they used was very unique and indigenous to our downtown building.
All right. Enough of the segue. Let's get back to Concho Christmas.
There you go.
All right. 30 years ago, you had these Sonny Clear, and you had a genesis, the idea you're going to do it.
And Howard.
And
Maryland.
And so what did you do? Did you like, hey, well, let's go to Walmart and buy some Christmas lights? How did you come up with the ideas of what you did?
Well, pretty well. That's I had some friends that knew where we could get some secondhand scenes, and basically.
And those are the big light scenes you have on the riverbanks.
Well, then a big light scene was probably 20 feet wide and 10 feet high, and in fact, the initial light scene is the first scene on the left as you come into the Tour of Lights now
on First Street.
On First Street, where the reindeer are jumping over this world, and I don't know, we got it secondhand somewhere. Somebody didn't want it, and that's what.
And where did you didn't have a Tour of Lights?
No, it was down in the Paseo, and we had a walking tour. That was before, Neff's was there, but we had the little miniature golf course, and so that little walkway that went through there, we started a walking tour there, and then put luminaries along, but lights of luminaries along the walking path, and then ended at the El Paseo de Santa Angela.
Okay.
And it was a reasonably new concept, but it was well received, and people would walk it.
You had thousands of people participate the first year.
There weren't thousands of people downtown, but no, we had a few thousand people. It's not the 70,000 we look at today.
So when did you start the driving through the Tour of Lights?
That happened fairly quickly, within probably 4 to 5 years.
Okay.
We were on the driving tour.
And as far as financing goes, it's all coming from the $8 that people give, the suggested donation, or did you have some benefactors?
We've always had benefactors. Our foundations have done a good job. Health Foundation has helped us with the poinsettias around the visitor center, as you know. That's an absolutely beautiful scene.
Those who are new to San Angelo, the Health Foundation was founded when the community hospital went private. Sold to community health systems back in early 90s, and they gave the $30-40 million into this foundation, and they've actually kept the corpus of that. And every quarter they give out $10, $20, $30, $50,000 to various projects that people apply for that have to do something with health, I mean quality of life, or it could be for mental illness, they kind of things. So it basically goes to NGOs. So
and of course James Archer and his group over there.
That's the multi-chem people.
That's the multi-chem people, and they're the ones that finance what now I would call a big scene, which is the God Bless America. And the
where is God Bless America on the lights?
At the Crescendo at the El Paseo de Santa Angela. Okay. There's a big sign that says God Bless America, and then an American flag. Okay. Right beside it. On the other side is Wells Fargo Bank. Jim Cummings did this for us many years ago. Was the 3 tall candles? They're about 40 feet tall, and then poinsettias all around the base of the 3 candles. That's on the right, God Bless America in the middle, the American flag on the left. I think so. It's been that sort of thing for the big scenes.
But the history of it is, now you started at the Paseo, basically the parking lot there, and now you tour the lights along the river, and you end up at the Paseo. So it's still a big part of the.
It's the crescendo. It's the mother lode, as they say in the.
So how many
in the mining business?
How many cars? I know you said COVID obviously impacted everything, but how many cars do you anticipate to go through this year?
Well, we're anticipating about 18,000 cars this year. We have received the benefits from a great benefactor, which you've asked about, Chick-fil-A has come in to be a major sponsor of our tour, and they are handing out 2 gift cards
Right.
to each car that comes through the entrance.
So you better have 36,000 of them.
We've got a little more than that, actually. I think he ordered another 8,000 the other day.
Well, think about this: 36,000 sandwiches, even at cost. That's a lot of money.
That's $30,000 to $40,000 is what he's giving back to the community. That's not going into that's not investing in the tour itself per se. It's investing in our community and in the guests that are coming through through the tour lights.
And I think also having a major corporate sponsor like that, even though it's Rob Watkins, the franchisee, putting that brand on that really helps elevate what you're doing.
It's with a sponsorship like that, it does exactly that. Now, last year we had Reliant, and Reliant gave out the hats at the Lights of Christmas parade that had the little blinking lights on the hats, and they were absolutely fantastic. And for a couple of years, Reliant helped us in that regard. So, and then HEB has been giving out the things that they have given out is to help the guests coming through, and so HEB sponsors the candy canes that we put in each sack.
Okay.
And then, of course, we have a good sponsorship with the mall. You think, well, they're pulling things downtown, but the mall has been a steady partner for 20 years.
You have a drawing, right? For everyone that goes through, you fill out a survey.
A survey, and that survey gives us data for the Chamber of Commerce to tell us where our audience is coming from, and tells us also some data about what kind of economic impact that the tour has.
And if you fill out the survey, you're thrown into a drawing, right?
To a drawing to get a $1,000 shopping spree at half of it JCPenney's and half of it the mall.
Okay, all right. So you can actually not only get your chicken sandwich, two of them,
right?
You can have a chance to win a $1,000 shopping spree at the mall.
Exactly.
All right.
It's a fantastic deal.
What in the future? I mean, obviously, as modern technology, we have LED lighting and things like that. Are you looking toward the future, sort of adding more to it, or changing out different scenes?
Well, we've reconfigured 2 things this year. First of all, we reconfigured the route, the end of the route after Irving Street.
So you had to do that.
Well, we had got that opportunity given to us,
right?
And so we at Irving Street, instead of going left and going through town, which is created pretty much a congestion with the 3 stoplights in the middle of town.
Right.
We'll turn south, go across the river, go to Avenue A, then go directly into where the museum and El Paseo de Santa Angela is, and hit the crescendo right there. And we're upgrading that area. In fact, today, yesterday, and the day before, we've been upgrading the electrical outlet capability, because that's what stops any kind of growth in this deal is you run out of electricity. You don't have the sources for electricity to do really any more scenes than what we have right now. Again, the new route gives us new opportunities to see some of the old scenes in a new setting, and we're really excited about that.
So on the Avenue A, you're still going to have scenes?
We're still going to have scenes on Avenue A.
And you really didn't have scenes on Concho. It was just you're just driving down block 1.
Yeah, we just dodging cars and dodging people as we went through town.
Yeah.
But the community tree was downtown always, and we've always lit trees downtown, and that has continued for this season too. So we still have the community tree at Concho and Chadbourne, and we still have the trees lit at Concho and Chadbourne. So when they get through at the Paseo, they can come back down Chadbourne and come into downtown and participate in an adult beverage and or a snack or something and at our local establishments there.
Right. It's an $8 suggested donation to get through.
Yes, sir.
What I see, I mean, I've run the gates there many times, and what I see a lot of times is people will pay it forward. So like you'll have the first car, give $16. I'm paying for the guy behind me.
Exactly. We've done that that kind of became a little tradition there for several years, especially during COVID. And we would get up to 20 or 30 in a row.
Right.
Everybody paying for the guy behind him.
And then the poor guy trying to check to see who's paid, not paid. You just didn't know.
Well, it's we don't keep that close account. It's just important that the whole community knows that they're all welcome, and we look forward to them enjoying them and their family, which is very important. This is a family celebration,
and it really is
sacred time.
When you see the carloads, it's the kids.
It's a kid, sure.
It's a lot of kids, and and you have the light tunnel and all that. You drive through a tunnel of lights.
Yeah, David Hirschfield gave us that.
Is that right?
Yeah, it took several years for him to make that design possible.
Really?
But he fabricated that. Hirschfield Steel did 20 years ago.
Wow.
And it's one of our favorite starting points for the active part of the.
Do you still use the trustee prison labor to put it up?
We have been blessed with that. We lost our local camp, which at one time we had a trustee camp here in San Angelo, and they helped with a lot of things, not just Concho Christmas, but they helped with the rodeo, and they helped with a lot of other things around San Angelo, nonprofit kind of opportunities. But now everything is. The living units are all concentrated in Colorado City.
Oh, really?
And the inmates drive from Colorado City down here.
I thought they were coming out of our jail.
No. These are coming out of Colorado City.
Okay, all right. So they come down and they help
erect. We start Labor Day, September 5th, 6th, and they will be on board and on site until the end of February.
If someone is rich and wealthy and they wanted to perhaps donate a scene, could they do it today? Or even if they're poor. Poor people can donate.
There you go. There you go. We're in good shape in terms of scenes. If there's an opportunity, we just have to see whether there's a location for it, because we've pretty well filled up that 2.5 miles, as I said.
Right.
And we're just our opportunities right now are limited based on where we can get electricity.
And real estate and electricity.
Well, people have been very generous, giving us use of their private property, as you notice all across the river from Memorial Drive, I think they call it now, or Military Drive.
It's Memorial Drive.
It's
Veterans
Memorial Drive.
Yeah.
And so everything across the river from is all private property. And those people donate their private property as well as their power.
Okay.
And most of that's all donated. So much donation and so much volunteer work goes into making this. We have 350, 400 volunteers that make this event each year a success.
To learn more about it, it's Concho. Is it ConchoChristmas.com?
That's Concho Christmas Celebration.
Okay, ConchoChristmasCelebration.com.
Right.
You got the schedules, you got maps, you got pictures of what it looks like, things like that. Or if you know where the post office is off of Abe Street, it's just north of the post office. It's
First Street.
First Street. Turn in there, and they'll take you down to the entrance of the light tour.
It's going to be this year's best tour ever, no doubt about it.
All right.
Probably the thing that if you haven't been there in 4 or 5 years, we've invested a tremendous amount of money in LED lights.
Okay.
And you'll go through there and you'll say, I saw this before, but I don't remember it was this pretty before. And the reason are LED lights.
So there you go. There's an upgrade to the old lights, and you're actually keeping them modernized.
Keep it modernized.
That's right. Well, Mr. Pfluger, thank you for coming on our show today. Everyone, get out there and see those Christmas lights, because the Christmas lights is a now 30-year tradition here in San Angelo. And I really appreciate you telling the backstory behind it.
Well, there's a lot of backstories. In 30 years, as you know.
Yeah, there would be.
This place changes every day.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the studio.
When it comes to unique pieces you can't find anywhere else, Cano's Diamonds and Coins is your one-stop shop. With over 24 years in the diamond and coin industry, Concho's Diamonds and Coins is West Texas's choice for diamonds, jewelry, coins, silver, and gold. Owner Bill Concho stands by his work and offers free consultations, including estate jewelry. Don't just trust anyone with your valuables. Come see the staff at Concho's at 1016 West Beauregard in San Angelo.
And that's it for our program. Thanks for joining us today. Be sure and check back with us tomorrow. Until then, for the team here at San Angelo Live, I'm Yantis Green.